Mommy! Mommy cha-cha. Do you cha-cha, Mommy? You know the cha-cha dance? Ben in Sibugay, Mustaka Pare. Salamat, Mommy. Maraming salamat. Musta sa lahat? Mr. Ben? Miss Mommy? Saan ka nakatira, Ben? Sa Pinas. Come in, people. Come in. Don't skip. Just stop. Come in the room. Zamboanga City? Chabacano? Ben? ¿Cómo estás, amigo? Selena, oh my gosh. I know, late one. You know, I just read somebody's comment asking me to go live tonight. And I said, yeah, I was busy tonight. Look for me on Friday night. And then I thought, oh, why not go live now? I'm awake on the couch. So, magaling galing, Ben. Nice to meet you. Thank you for stopping. Don't forget the thumbs up, the like. Oh, Ben. Asawa ko, taga Iloilo. How are you, crazy puppet? And Selena, are you okay? Come in. Look, there's 10 people watching. Come in, everyone. Flood the house. Do a raid on my channel. Flood the room. Watch it happen. I'm in New Jersey, and originally from San Diego, California, USA. But my Asawa family lives here in New Jersey. So I kept a happy wife, happy life. I moved to New Jersey from California. So from the Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean. Presley, I know, back to my regular schedule. Can't stay too long. Road trip. All right, dear. I know. Sorry about that. Well, stay up until you fall asleep. And then, good night, my friend. I know, Presley. Back to your schedule, Presley. Although it's, what, 11:30 in Arizona? Or is it 12:30? No, 11:30. Come in, come in. 6 people watching, 8 people watching, 11 people watching. 11:30, yeah. Yeah, I just saw the, what was that? Mid-air collision in Arizona. My gosh, what the heck's happening there now? That was Arizona, wasn't it? I was just watching it. Or at least the remnants of. Ah, did you say you're heading to Pennsylvania? Are you going to be close to me? You know what I didn't clarify. The news is saying 2 people killed, but there were 4 people, 2 in each plane. So what, did one plane land safely or what? What part of Pennsylvania, Selena? Ben, I'm on a Xbox, and I can try to give you moderator, but it's like 50-50 success rate on this Xbox. I don't have a gadget, so I have to, I'm not on a laptop. I'm on my television screen, and I'm using the Xbox controller. So it takes too much time to and 50% success rate switching tabs on this Xbox device. But I will try. Oh, don't forget to like, guys. Don't forget. I only see 3 out there. Here, I'm on my YouTube now. Let me see. I'm going to be successful, Ben, I think. Uh-oh. Excuse me, Ben. Trying. There you are, Ben. There's your moderator. Okay. I was successful. Yeah. You see my ambulance? See my ambulance out there. Bellevue. Where's Belleville? I mean Belleville. Belleville. I have to look on the map. I'm near Philadelphia. What in the world of sports is going on? What's up, Frank? Frank! Frank Alpha. As you were, Chief. Yeah, I know. You work for a living. You know, you're revealing your age when somebody remembers Wild World of Sports. The thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. I know. Been a while. So, Selena, if you're still there, what was the situation for the pup? I know you're doing well, I hope, Frank. Rochelle! Oh my goodlay. You made it. You didn't visit me though, like I asked. But it's okay. And what? Said thanks, then said, are you being sarcastic? You know, only you, Selena, couldn't just leave it as a compliment. You had to question it. That's your MO. Medi Azimayan. Ezimiyan. Assalamu alaikum. Ever heard of an iron? No, he didn't. That's what you were thinking. See that quote in the movies? Especially the one with Hedy Lamarr in it? Oh, I don't know. I don't remember ever hearing that in the movies. Is that why you said it? You were quoting a... Are you live streaming, Rochelle? Mehdi, you're writing in Arabic, so I don't understand Arabic. But I'm assuming you said wa alaikum assalam. Is that wa alaikum assalam? I'm guessing. Oh, you're outside. Are you riding? Are you on your bike, Rochelle? Oh, I would give you a moderator, Rochelle, but it's difficult on this Xbox. I don't have a gadget. Let me try. Hold on. I'm over on the Xbox tab right now. If I disappear, I will be right back. Sometimes this Xbox will kick me off the tab, the StreamYard tab. So I'm going to try. Hold on. It's still populating, trying to populate the chat room here. It's like the old school dial-up. Not a gadget in my hand. And it's not a laptop. I'm on my 60-inch TV with the Xbox. Okay, here we go. Rochelle. And I'm going to make you a moderator here. There you go, Rochelle. I'm like, what? Oprah with mods? Here's a mod, here's a car. Oh, don't mention Oprah. Don't associate me with Oprah. That lady's a witch. She's the female devil, I call her, along with Whoopi. Okay, I'm back. That's okay, you got it. I was successful, Rochelle. Shopkeeper! What's up there, Robert? Oh, I know. You know what? I said the same thing. I said, is there any way, you know, for the law of the land to ban a channel from, you know, the airwaves? And I was talking to my wife about, you know, no, because it's free speech. I don't know, but it's horrible. Every media, every outlet, I'm calling evil. Other than if you can hear President Trump or Elon Musk speaking, or any of his associates, his circle, actually speaking, I don't want to hear anybody else's what somebody else said. I don't want to hear it. Just don't want to hear it. So many inconsistencies I found. Unless I hear the person say it, I don't want to hear it. Yeah, it's a minus 11. Yeah, shop. It was minus 17. It was 0 degrees here earlier, but now it warmed back up to like 22 Fahrenheit. Oh, really? Their lawyers make them fact check and apologize. Oh, I didn't know that, but game. Oh, speaking of law of the land, why Americans say game at the animals when they hunt? Oh, because you have to look up the word. Just Google it. Game is, it probably is biblical, Robert. There's nobody as Irish as Barack Obama. Bill! What's up, William? No, he's shopkeeper. Selena is from Romania, and he's an incredible American historian, believe it or not. He does a lot of research, and he's learning the language as well. So he'll ask questions like, why do Americans say game when they're referring to animals, animal hunting? Or why do we drive on a parkway and park in a driveway? You know, it's the questions like that. Oh, I know it is. Meet Robert. His name's Robert. He's from, where are you from, Robert? Not Transylvania, but you told me before. The capital of Romania. My love language. What's up, brother? Well, I was very late, but I ended up on the couch, so I went live. Not Bucharest, no. Robert, where are you from? Again. It's another Ania, like Transylvania. Romania. Is Bucharest the capital? Well, I was wrong. Robert, where are you, bro? Shopkeeper. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on the city he lives in. 11 people watching. Come in, guys. That's 22 eyeballs. There's got to be more people in the crowd. I mean, in the chat room, if there's 22 people. I mean, 11 people watching. Come in, come in. Yeah, what city, Robert? I was trying to remember. Daniel! What do you mean it was so hot? Where are you? What city do you live in, Robert? Come on, bro. Listen. What do you mean it was so hot today? What was the temperature? Like freezing? Doc, there's a video commented on the first 15 seconds of it, played a song I liked. Can you tell me the name of it? There was a video I commented on. Oh, you mean in my live stream? Was that you that commented? I just answered your comment. Yeah, Daniel. Oh, that's right. You're in New Zealand. Sorry, Daniel. I forgot where you were. Of course I know where you are. Yep. Daniel and JR. What's his name? John J. Reveley or Revel. He's in Auckland, New Zealand. But JR's not in the house yet. All right, Rochelle. Bye, dear. See you another live stream. Go live more often. Show your face. You're too guapa to hide. Yes, I understand. You explain why you don't like going on your camera, but much better when people go live because it gives the audience something to look at. No, it's okay. What was the song and where did you hear it? Was it in my live stream or I didn't quite understand your comment to that effect? You said something about song, but my live stream is 5 hours long and I don't know where. Let me ask something here. Let me read something. Heard a song earlier. I think you'd really like it. It's a young kid, maybe 13. Father in the Bible, I think it's called. Okay. Hoorah, Gus. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up. Praise God for the military. And yourself, Gus, or thinking of joining, or are you a veteran? Oh, you mean this song? This song I'm playing right now? Or no, the song in the background to the military introduction? Yeah, first 15 seconds. Ah, you're right. I'll have to check and see what background music that is. I think it's a background music from the app I was using when I edited that. So I might not have a name for you, but I'll check it out and try to figure it out. Awesome. That's cool. Yeah, it was a YouTube app. I think the YouTube app, and then in the editing process, of making the short, it gives you the list of background music to choose from, and I think I just used one of those. But I'll try to figure it out. Or you should be able to do it. Don't they have a music identifier like Google? You know how they have Google Photos? You can plug in the photo, and it'll do a search on the photo. Don't they have one for music? Oh yeah, Gary Bussey. Well, I told you I was going to have to do the same. I'll have to give you a hard time about Gary Busey. Hoorah, my language. That's cool. Praise God again for the military. It's why we have a military. Because God himself. So, praise God for the military. So, I was referring to originally, what's his name? The star of the movie Ghost. The other actor. The younger guy. Oh, I'll be dang. I didn't know that about Gary Busey. Howie Mandel. Oh, oh, I know he is. Have I seen all the waves Trump's making and moved? What do you mean? Oh, you're talking about all of his executive orders, and it's amazing. 3 weeks in office, and look how much he's accomplished or put into motion. He was that way the first 4 years. And I was so motivated, so just changed my world as far as, following a president finally in my life. Oh, I know he is. Well, if you didn't, if you didn't follow him the first 4 years, this is a big surprise. But to me, he's continuing where he left off. Yep. Yep. Look at the amount of look at the business moguls that he's had around him and on stage. Did you see all those guys? The oil guru and the auto industry guru and the other guy on the end of his, when he was reclaiming all the acreage out in the ocean, the billions of acres, and what that's going to do. Did you see how much Japan is investing in the United States? $1 trillion. He originally brought that Japanese I believe it was it was AI industry guy on board for 200 billion, and he said, or 250, and Trump said, I hope I can get you to invest 500, and the Japanese guy said, he's big smile, almost like he's nervous, the little short guy next to big Trump, and he's like, well, I'll consider it, but I need your help, President Trump. Well, now that Japanese AI investor is investing $1 trillion in AI. He's bringing $1 trillion of Japanese assets into the United States. He did it like that. Actually, as soon as he won the presidency, they were making phone calls left and right to Trump. It's amazing, just amazing what what he speaks. I'm telling you, I don't care what people say. He's a modern day Abraham Lincoln. I'm telling you, guy's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant when it comes to world business. He'll change the world. He's changing the world. He's not just making America great again. He's making the world great again. Ask Robert from Romania. Ask him what he thinks of the USA doing well. Ask these other people that come in from foreign countries how they view the USA and how they are watching the USA. That they gear how their country is going to do based on how the USA is doing, or if there's going to be any changes. They watch the USA. Ask Robert from Romania. I know. Yeah, I know. Well, maybe his son, Barron, will run for president. He won't be old enough in 4 years, but it's like, we need to get somebody who thinks like Trump into office after Trump. There was a older man, I forget who it was. I want to say it might have been Newt Gingrich. Don't quote me on that. But the man was in his 80s when he said this. The first 4 years of Trump's in office, he said, if I could only think like Trump, or I want to be able to think like Trump. And for an 80-year-old man, somebody his elder, Trump's elder, to say that about him, was, you realize people don't understand. I don't understand how Trump thinks. He's so far ahead. He's got a vision that already works in his head. A world vision. I don't know. I'm going to brag about him, but, telling you. We'll see. Like Cheech and Chong. Frank, you're so funny. You see? Wait a minute. How old are you, Frank? You're 56? That's right. You're like my younger brother, right? 56? Is that right, Frank? Or 58? I was going to say, if you remember Cheech and Chong. 54? Gosh, I love it. I was just watching Cheech and Chong, some rerun on YouTube. Just bringing back memories. Hey, man. Up in smoke. Yep. When he opens the door and the smoke rolls out. Chong like Tong. Did you ever see Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Selena? I know Frank did. God, if you haven't seen Fast Times, you gotta see that. Oh my gosh. Crazy. Oh, what's that? Did you watch the website, the photo they posted on Valentine's Day? Hilarious. Photo of him and Tom. Sold roses and red violets or blue. Come into the country, Ligu, we will deport you. No, I didn't see that. No, I didn't. Yep. Did you see the interview with Hannity and Trump and Elon? They're the truth comes out when you watch people actually speak. That's why I say don't watch the news. Don't listen to what somebody else says somebody said. And guys, speaking of another brilliant individual, look at Elon Musk. And look what he's doing for Trump. Look at the doors he's opening into the United States' eyes and letting us see for the first time in how many years? Probably never. The government's never been audited like it's being audited today. But it's about time. We need a facelift. We do. We need to be held accountable. All these, not we. Our government, those that we put in charge, they need to be audited every now and then. Obviously, more often than what we're being audited now, as Elon is exposing. It's out of control. Did you hear Trump say, do you know we have people on the record, the Social Security record, as being 400 years old? There's one person that is between 400 and, or don't quote me, somewhere between 400 and 450 years old. One person. Did you see that? And there's 7 or 8 that are 200 to 250? It's like, what? Oh my gosh. No, oh my God. What do you know about Monty Python, Selena? Oh, that's right. Your mom and dad are my age. Well, they're older than me, but I forgot. You're old, Selena. His name is John Cena. You've not got a worm. Oh, what is that? I like watching band video. Band video. It's got Badass Uncle Sam, Alex Jones, David Icke, and much, much more. I don't remember that, Daniel. Oh, what's going on in Germany, Selena? I haven't been following. Mr. Hand, that's it. There you go. Mr. Hand says everyone is on dope. I love it. Do you remember who Mr. Hand was? He's the on Land of the Law. I mean, warning, warning, Will Robinson. Wasn't that the same guy? No, maybe that is somebody different. No, maybe it was the same guy. Wasn't that the old guy on Lost in Space? Yeah. Oh, My Favorite Martian. No, was it My Favorite Martian? Yeah. You're right. It wasn't. Wait. No, it was not. My Favorite Martian or Lost in Space? Lost in Space. But it wasn't the same guy. Who is that guy? Who is the old guy in Fast Times at Ridgemont High? Yeah, you're right. He was old. He was old in My Favorite Martian. So he wouldn't be alive. Yeah, Ray. Wait a minute, you got to clarify. Is Ray the guy you're thinking of at Fast Times at Ridgemont High, or was that in... I thought it was Lost in Space. Warning, Will Robinson. Warning. Yeah. I'm talking about two different programs, so you got to clarify. It's like my dad used to watch what? Lost in Space or My Favorite Martian? Or both? Oh, they did what? Ban Alex Jones show? I don't even know Alex Jones show. You know, I haven't watched primetime television since 2008. So I disconnected from primetime television ever since 2008. Oh, please drop Lost in Space, man. Look it up. Google it, somebody. Who was, wait, the show Warning, Will Robinson, that was Lost in Space. It wasn't My Favorite Martian. But again, that was too old of a show for that man to be alive today, so. I don't even know what MSM is. What is MSM? Come in. 6 people watching. Come in. Ray Walston. There you go. Oh, and Bill Bixby. That was My Favorite Martian. Correct. Oh, mainstream media. Sorry. I'm out of the loop there, Selena. I'm telling you, when I got involved in the Reformers Unanimous program, one of I mentioned before, one of the biblical uh, uh, passages is forgetting that which is behind, looking forward to the mark. Part of leaving, my past in the behind or behind me was things I used to watch, things I used to listen to, places I used to go, people I used to hang out with, and things I listened to. I think I already said that. And so I did. In 2008, all became a different creation worldview. Yep. Yep, yeah. Well, you know what? That's the way we were raised. We were raised to believe everything on television. I shared with you before in the past, didn't I? About the what the effect media has on people. It's a supposedly written by an anonymous source. It talks about the relationship that a boy had with his older brother and his mother and father growing up. And then they invited a stranger into the house. Mom and dad let this stranger room with them, and how mom felt about the stranger and how dad felt about the stranger. And it goes on describing life with this stranger in their house. Didn't I share that? It's called The Stranger, as a matter of fact. That's the name of it. And still going on. Lost in Space. Who was the guy in Lost in Space, Frank? Oh, I know. Hey, not all of them. Have you seen the black and white videos of the in-classroom driver's education courses with the big screen display in front of the class and the boxes with the steering wheel and the gas pedal and the brake pedal, and the students sitting at those consoles watching the big screen up on the projector screen up on in front of the classroom? Well, guess what? It's in the Smithsonian Institute. Well, those videos that you saw, I had them in my classroom at Madison High School in San Diego. So they weren't that old, but they're in this Smithsonian. Yep, that's how I learned my driver's education, through the first virtual classrooms. Yeah, I was very fortunate to have the driver's education training and driver's education on campus course with the full model of a city block on my campus, where you had vehicles that were actually driven. You turned your radio to FM, and the teacher had a big backpack with the radio and the antenna sticking out of it, and he had a microphone like I'm using, and he communicated with us via the FM station in the vehicle. And he'd say, "Okay, car number 6, get ready to make a left turn. Go ahead and merge, car 12. Slow down, car 20." And we would all be going in a circle around this course. Freeway on-ramps, freeway off-ramps, cones, parking, red lights, stoplights, lines painted. It was an amazing oval that we used to drive on to train for driver's education. I don't know how I got off on that tangent, but Daniel. Chip Hugh is a CIA agent, now a whistleblower. Talks about when him and his family almost got knocked off by them with a mustard bomb. Oh my gosh, what? Where are you watching this stuff, Daniel? Oh, that was Kevin Ship. Even the innocent seeming ones of the brother being upset his sister wanted to be a model. Oh, they used to show in classes. Girls were groomed with the classroom videos to even normalize bombs hiding under there. Okay, I read that already. Where are you hearing Kevin Ship? Is he on like talk shows with what's his name? The ex-Navy SEAL that does all the interviews? Or does he have his own podcast or something? Oh my gosh. It hurts my butt crossing my legs that long. Holy. Oh, Dr. Smith. That's him. Thank you. That was the name I was looking for, Frank. Dr. Smith. That was Jonathan Harris. Okay, okay. So is the guy in My Favorite Martian, is that him, Ray, in Fast Times at Ridgemont High? Did we ever clarify that? The gaydar. For real? What? Canada invented the gaydar? What is that, radar for gay people? I don't know what you're referring to. What? What are you talking about, Selena? Who knocked up the chick? Yeah, Sean Ryan. That's what I was thinking. Are you hearing Kevin Ship on Sean Ryan, or does he have his own show? Does Kevin Ship have his own channel? Yeah, in Fast Times, who was the teacher? Was that Ray? Frank? The guy in My Favorite Martian? Yeah, that was him, right? Okay, that's what I was confusing. My Favorite Martian with Lost in Space. Okay, Mr. Hand is Ray. All right, so I was correct in associating him with a older show. Okay. Yeah, My Favorite Martian. Okay, time to calm the music down a bit here. What do you think? Okay. Whew. It's getting my heart rate up. Well, thanks everybody for seeing my live stream so late, and Selena for staying up so late, and Frank and Robert and Rochelle and Daniel. Salahat is everyone in Tagalog. So if I say Salahat, you'll know next time. It means everyone. Who else? And everyone else that I forgot. Oh, my love language. You still there? Gus, where'd you go? You popped in for one comment. And everyone else there that came in earlier. And Spaceballs. Remember that? I just got bits and pieces of that Spaceballs with Darth Vader. What was his name in Spaceballs? Wasn't that Spaceballs? They had a offshoot of Darth Vader. Canadian invented a device to root out homosexuals from government as they thought that they were vulnerable to giving secrets. Really? Weird. Never heard about that. Oh my gosh. That's almost funny. It's like, what? Selena Tien. Musta Tien. Magandang umaga. May the Schwartz be with you. Is that what they said? Is that what he said? Tian, where are you in the Philippines? Saan ka? Nakatira sa Pinas. I don't remember where I met you, Tian, or what live stream. Which live stream were you in when we saw each other? Yeah, there you go. Yeah. May the Schwartz be with you. Remember what you've learned. Save you it can. Hmm. Something like that. Hey, I forgot what state you're in, Selena. I think I'm drawing a blank. Kentucky? Where are you? Break the internet with what? My remember what you've learned. Save you it can. Blazing Saddles. Oh my gosh. You were born in the wrong era, Selena. Did you see Young Frankenstein? You had to have, Selena. Oh my gosh, you guys, I got successful. Let me get off the subject. I was successful today with something. Oh, you do? You own everyone on DVD. I love it. God, what a classic that was. Uh, what was the movie with Richard Pryor, where he and the guy from Young Frankenstein were in jail, and he painted himself black, and he's pretending to be black. And he's trying. Remember, he's trying to act like a black guy. It's cool. Hey, brother. what was the name of that? What did he do? He spread grease all over his face. Oh my gosh. Oh, oh, stop it. Oh my gosh. Come on in, people. Come in, join uh, this chaos. Tropic Thunder. Tropic Thunder. Yeah, Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder. Oh, it was shoe polish. That's right. Oh, Blazing. No, that was Silver. 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 Oh yeah, what was that? Silver. Something silver or silver something. I forgot. It was shoe polish. uh, Silver Streak. That's it, right? Frank, Silver Streak. Oh, Robert Downey Jr., Vietnam, plays a black guy, gets so into the role, he truly believes he's a black guy. Yeah, Silver Streak. Yeah. Is this a recent or in the past? Robert Downey Jr. plays a black guy, and he gets so into the role, he truly believes he's a black guy. High five, Frank. See, I can remember some things. Oh, from the early 2000s. Okay, okay. You need to leave me an email, Selena, or I'm gonna forget. So use that email that I was successful at, your husband and yours email. Send me a reminder. Tropic Thunder. Okay. Is it going to be on Netflix or something? We have various sources we can look for it. Or I'll look for it on Amazon or something. So. Oh, I was saying earlier, this is way off the subject, but I have a Vivint security system, cameras, etc., sensors, all around the house. And I've been working with them for many years. And I not only have been purchasing from them for years, but I work with them and I get benefits because I'm proactive instead of the opposite. And therefore, I ran into an issue with my garage door opener. One of the sensors, the battery, the little battery tab on the back of the sensor, the garage door sensor, broke. And it's been broken for, gosh, years probably. But I have it MacGyvered with a piece of tape holding the little battery, the 2032 battery, those round batteries. I have it MacGyvered with a piece of tape holding it in, and it works. But just thinking about things that I need to get done, I thought, you know what, I need to take care of that sensor once and for all. So I'm going to order another one. So I'm going to try to make this short. Well, it's an old sensor, and they no longer put out that sensor. There's an upgrade to it. Well, that upgrade doesn't communicate with the sensor, the garage door. It's called a garage door opener, but it's not the motor. It's just a device that senses that sensor. A reader, we're going to call it. And so they send me out a new sensor, and that sensor is not the old one. and so it doesn't communicate with the garage door device. And I'm going round and round with customer service via chat and on the phone, and nobody seems to be on the same page. And people are giving me different information, and then they send out a technician, which I am already paying for extra per month, so I don't get charged $30 every time a technician comes out. And so a technician comes out, and he basically goes through the same thing that I've already done and concludes the same thing I've concluded. So it's like, okay, so help me out. What are you going to do? He says, well, you need a new, ultimately you need to replace that device that doesn't communicate with the new sensors. You need the device that does recognize that, but it's not covered by your plan. And I went, well, that's not good, because I didn't do anything. It just wore out over time. He says, no, I understand, but I don't happen to have one of those old sensors. He says, but they are available. They're kept in a storage somewhere. And I need to be able to get a hold of one of those, and then I can come back and help you out. Or you can upgrade the garage door sensor system to what they call a MacKay by Chamberlain, which is one of the brands that Vivint works with Vivint. But again, your support plan that you're paying extra for each month doesn't cover that new device. And I said, all right, so what am I going to do? He said, well, call customer, what's it called, where if you complain enough, they'll give you benefits. It's customer, whatever the department is, and let them know what I already told you. And I'll put in the notes everything that I found here at the house, and tell them to cover, this new device that you need. Well, I call them, and of course I'm speaking to the Philippines customer support, and which is not anything that's nothing new. I'm always speaking to the Philippines, whether in my own home or customer support with Vivint. And I'm trying to get them to cover this cost. And, oh, I'm sorry, sir, we're unable to do that. And I said, well, then what am I going to do? I'm out of service unless you, do something for me. I can't even operate my garage door without that sensor. And so I eventually convinced them. I started doing my own research. So how much is for this new device out in the garage? They said $150. I'm like, no, I'm not paying $150. I said, unless you want to cover $150 and buy it for me. Oh, I'm sorry, sir, we can't do that. And I went, well, so I did my own research for this device that they sell for $150. And I find it on the Chamberlain website for $29.99. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, that can't be, such a price difference. So I call Vivint back and I say, is this the device that you're selling? And I actually sent them a screenshot, and they looked at it and they said, yeah, that looks like the same one we're selling. And I went, and you sell it for $150? I said, I found it on Amazon for $29.99 or on the Chamberlain website. As a matter of fact, I found a used one for $16 on Amazon, and which I bought. Matter of fact, I've got the box right here from Amazon. Oh, you can't see it in the. So I get it for, after taxes, it turned out to be about $20. So I said, you know what? I told Vivint, I said, I'm willing to put out $20 and I'll buy the device myself. And is there any other money that is required to get this thing installed? They said, yeah, there's a integration fee that costs $50 once you install it. I said, what is integration fee? Oh, when we integrate since it's not a Vivint product, it's a Chamberlain product, we integrate the Chamberlain device into our panel. Excuse me. And that cost $50. And I went, well, then cover the $50. So they did. They gave me a $50 credit. And I was like, cha-ching. I'll spend $20, use my $50 to cover the integration fee. So I know I said I'm going to make this short, but the long story short is I got the device yesterday and I installed it tonight, or this 4 hours ago or so, out in the freezing cold garage. And it took me a while to jump through all the hoops in the YouTube videos to show how to, make everything speak to each other. And I got it all working, right? And the app, I integrated the app to the Vivint app so I don't have to use two apps to control. I can just use one. So everything's working except my panel. The panel in the house is showing unknown. It's not recognizing the new device, but the app does. The Vivint app recognizes it, and I can control the garage door. So I get on the phone again with customer service in the Philippines again, and through two customer service representatives, one dropped off after about 20 minutes, and then I called them back, and after spinning for 30 plus minutes with this lady, she finally concludes, oh, well, I didn't realize, but that device that you bought doesn't incorporate into the panel. So you're not going to have a garage door opener icon on your panel, only on the app itself and your manual button out in the garage. And I thought, really? She's, yeah, unfortunately, until further notice, that garage door opener feature drops off of the panel and you no longer will see it on there. And I went, oh, okay, well, thank you. And that $50 that credit that I got, I never had to use it. So I've got $50 sitting in my account, and actually so if you take the $20 I spent for the device that I bought, subtract that, I'm plus $30. So I got it for free and $30 in the account. So that was the latest. That's what I did tonight. And that's why I didn't go live. To weave, as President Trump says, to weave that back to the original subject. That's why I didn't go live. I was out in the 20-degree garage installing that garage door controller. So anyways, I know I missed all of your guys. Kim! ¿Cómo está, Kim? Sorry I missed you. And you guys were having a conversation. But that's okay. The Canadian gaydar. Okay, Selena. Oh, you sent a text. Gotcha. Thank you. Unless the IRA wants an audit. Oh, okay, I understand. I got you. Thank you, Selena. I'm rereading what I missed here when I was rambling about my garage door opener. But real lightly. I always say, I don't bite unless you get too close. Kim, are you there? Daniel, how old is your daughter? I don't know if I knew that you were a daddy. And you're the older guy of the young guys. You're in your 40s, right, Daniel? You're not one of the 30-year-olds. You're old like Selena is. Come in, people. Come in, come in. 6 people watching. Are you there? Oh, that's right. You did tell me. I said your daughter's name is similar to my wife's name. Right? That's right. You did say. I just forgot. Imagine that. So, what are you doing, Selena? Are you like laying in bed with your phone in the dark with your phone? Or are you up or what? Oh, you were saying earlier, Daniel, how warm it was. How hot was it in your neck of the woods, New Zealand? Um, Actually, well, I don't know about Greek, but I know Daniel has Maori in him. Maori, Maori, correct, Daniel? Maori? Yeah. All right, I'm getting the munchies. It's like, what am I gonna? Actually, I'm okay, but well, you know what? That heat is getting a little bit warm, at least for nighttime. I don't need it that high. It's gonna keep running because it's what's the temperature outside? It's 20 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's 12 degrees below freezing. Come in, come in. People, where'd you go? Keep coming, keep coming. Don't skip. Stop swiping. Stop! Stop! Let's see here. What background should I use, guys? This one? Oh my gosh, that looks like a... You really can't see it because it's... It actually looks like my house, but... Not! It's not as effective on that vertical format. How's that one? Is that a cool ambiance? No, not really. Brady Bunch house, yeah. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that. If I could turn it horizontal or landscape, I would, but I can't do it in the middle of a live stream. You could see the whole house. I mean, the whole background. Here, that was a cool fishing. You can't see it, but that was out fishing on a lake. That turned out really cool. I don't think you can see the... Let me see. No, the kayak isn't in the picture. It's over off to the side. You can't see it, but... And you know what? I could decrease, yeah, the size of me a little bit. Yeah, that's a little better, I guess. Here, look, the smaller I make me, the more the background's visible. Oh, that's as small as it gets. What is that? Oh, that's the camera symbol. What does that say? Rip? Oh, no, it doesn't say. It's part of the camera symbols. You and your due. Kia ora. What are you saying, Frank? What? What is you and your due? Sorry? Oh, my Daiwa. How do you know I use Daiwa? I do. Although, most recent, I ended up just buying 2 poles. What are they called again? But they're Daiwa reels. But oh my gosh, ugly sticks. Yeah, and I'm not happy with the ugly sticks. I have been. I mean, I am. But for the reels, they're not really compatible. Oh, they're made for each other, but it just isn't as smooth as a Daiwa reel on a Daiwa rod. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I decided to go Daiwa instead of any other, just because the price and the quality was sufficient. And so I decided, let's just stay with Daiwa. So that's what I did. They had a Daiwa fishing kit. Where'd everybody go? Did Selena fall asleep? Daniel, did you disappear? Oh, that's where you went. I got it. Yep. Yeah, I was surprised you didn't fall asleep already. Well, thank you, Selena, for coming in for as long as you did. Yeah, what are the chances that you would have chosen Daiwa and that happens to be the brand that I have conformed to? Chris, there he is. What are you doing up? Speaking of what's up, we are up. What are you doing up? At 2:45 in the morning. Friday night, Selena. Thank you, young lady. Oh, gotcha. Now, work emergency. Uh, you already told me, what work emergency at 3 in the morning are you dealing with? Yeah, Maori. I don't know what Kia Orita is, so. Yeah, I wasn't following you there. 79 degrees? No, you mean 79 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah. What is MacKay? Is that like hell? Or you have to educate me on that word. MAGNE. Oh, network engineer. 2 officers lost power. Oh, I gotcha. Gotcha. Oh, like a magnifying glass. Oh, okay, okay. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Well, it couldn't have been 79 Celsius, bro. That would have been, you would have been cooking steaks. Wait, Alexa, what is 79 degrees Celsius? Yeah, 174 degrees Fahrenheit. Point. It is 3:48 in the Philippines. Point link. Thank you. Maraming salamat. Mare. Are you doing one-word responses, Point? You? Right. What is that? That says, don't ask permission to fly. I can't read the rest of it. What does it say? The wings are yours, and the sky belongs to no one. Ah. Man, I had to magnify that super big on my screen just to see that. ¿Cómo está? Musta? Now, Frank, educate me. What in the world does that mean? One hand basket coming up, going down. What is that? You lost me. Okay, I need to pretend like I'm munching on. Wait a minute, don't I have some coffee or something? Oh, I've already had too many cups of coffee. Oh, there's a little bit left in that cup. Maybe I should just. Okay, that was good. But what could I put on like the side of me and just here, I got some blueberries. Maybe I'll just munch on some blueberries. Sound like a plan? Oh, look, there's some egg. Some leftover scrambled eggs. What about scrambled eggs and blueberries? Would that go together? Kind of not. Okay. Blueberries are good, but they're cold. And I'm having a craving for this leftover egg here, so I'm gonna zap that real quick. I guess I could eat it with some bread or something, but I'm just gonna do the egg. Excuse me a second, guys. I'm away from the screen. I'm over here in the kitchen, so. Here. We'll change the, yeah, 26.1. There you go. I'm gonna stop the background and I'll do the kitchen. Actually, it's done, so I don't need to do that. Never mind. I should have done that earlier. Turn the camera so you guys can watch me wander around the kitchen, but I'm done. All right. So I'll do it this way. Oh, what could I eat with my scrambled eggs? Like some salsa or something? Some hot sauce maybe? It was on the way to Hades in a basket. Oh, okay. All right. Is that talk that I'm supposed to be familiar with, being on board a ship, by any chance, Frank? Oh, hell in a handbasket. Okay. Yeah, I have a background. All right, Frank. Good night, brother. Good seeing you. Long time. Friday night I'll be back. Hopefully, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Anybody else out there? Anybody in the background that hasn't said hello? Come in, come in, come on, come on. I know. I tried going to bed at midnight, and it didn't work. So I got back up and decided, because I was busy tonight and I did not go live, I decided to create a live stream at 1:30 in the morning. How long have I been here? Yeah, an hour and a half. So it's like 1:30 when I started the live stream. Oh, I learned a new expression. What was the expression? In Tagalog. My wife helped me. Anong nangyari? What happened, right? Anong nangyari? What happened? Correct? Oh, wait. Okay, that was good. Okay. Yeah, I was saying what happened to my wife, and I wanted to. Oh, I was talking about a customer support in the Philippines I was talking to earlier, and we got disconnected. The conversation dropped. So I was going to ask them, when I called them back, I was going to ask what happened, but I was going to use Tagalog because they're Filipino in the Philippines. So I asked my wife, how do you say what happened? She says, anong nangyari? Anong nangyari? Well, there were some Filipinas, Pinoys that were here earlier. Kim Vlog and Rochelle, the cyclist in the Philippines, and who else was here? Rochelle, Kim, somebody else. So what? How hot is it in the Philippines right now? Excuse me, goodness. Learning Tagalog is very easy. No, it's not easy. It's just you have to remember, it's um, at least for somebody like me, it's repetition and using it all the time and remembering the different words. Yeah, Rochelle Cycling Life, exactly. Yeah. Oh, it's cold? Like how cold? Alexa, what's the temperature in Manila, Philippines? Oh, it's 81. That's not too hot. Oh, a low of 76. So it's going to be cool tonight. That's actually sounds comfortable. 81 degrees, 76 at night. That's perfect. You can leave the windows open at 76 degrees and let the temperature cool the house down. with a blanket. Come in, guys. 5 people in the house. Or 5 people watching. Come in, come in. You know what? Maybe I'll make another cup of coffee now that I ate. That will be I think only number 2 today. I only had 1 cup of coffee today, all day today. I think. Maybe it was 2. Let me turn off the background. And I'll turn the camera over there. Okay. Let's see. What does that look like in the... There we go. Perfect. And my coffee cup is over here. There we go. You know what? I've ran out of coffee. The coffee, what are these called? Cartridges or whatever. I've only got 5 left. And I think I've used all of my, I think that's all. Yep. I'm going to have to order some more. And I found I don't know why so cheap, but I found a great deal on this coffee at Kmart. It's a department store, not Amazon. I found it at Kmart, where they had 2 boxes, 50 pieces per box, 50 pieces per box for the price of 1 box. So 100 pieces for the price of 50. So that lasts a good long time for half the price. I don't know why how they're able to sell it for half the price, but I don't care. I don't care how. I just want to order it again. So instead of Amazon, I'm going to order through their website. if they still have the special available. So right, that's a no-brainer, as they say. That is the best deal. Oh, you're drinking coffee now? Okay. Alrighty. My water is okay. I filled that up today. And the coffee's going. Creamer. I got creamer. I got honey. A new, well, it's about half gone, but I've got honey and one package of Splenda. Voila. Here, might as well add the Splenda now. And one more cup. 2 cups in this insulated thermos here, cup thing. Okay. Lift that up. Back down. The light turns blue. There it is. And I push it one more time. Okay. Chris. Yeah, I didn't know you were still hanging out there, brother. Thank you. Did you do the thumbs up already, Chris? Don't forget. Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I stand corrected, Chris. Now that you made me think about where the Kmart was that I'm referring to, it's Walmart. It's not Kmart. You're right. They did get rid of Kmart. They closed it down here in this part of New Jersey as well, Atlantic County. Yep, there was one. There was one right in Egg Harbor Township, about 8 miles from here, and they closed it down. Yep. Not sure what happens to those types of department stores. I guess maybe Walmart takes their business or something. Not sure why big companies like that close down. Yeah, so I'm sorry. It's Walmart that their website that I found that deal. How are the subways doing in Philly? Or, yeah, still here and there? Because even subways, some of the, what do you call them? The privately owned subways, yeah, they, I find some of them, or some of the subways have disappeared. I always thought Subway was one of those, how could it ever close down? Because they always are doing well. But this one franchise closed that was there for years and years, and all of a sudden the Indian family that ran it, imagine that, right? All of a sudden disappeared. They closed it. Maybe their rent got too high and they weren't making any profit anymore, or what? Oop, I just took a photo. Imagine that. There we go. Yeah, when I when I grew up in Southern California, Kmart's they popped up everywhere. I always thought, being the, you know, ignorant Southern California boy that thought everything in the U.S. ran like San Diego, um, I thought everybody had a Kmart, or that's where Kmart's originated, was Southern California. I didn't know any better. I don't know where they originated, but oh, and then there was a what? It was Kmart and what was the bigger one? Supermart? No, Kmart, and they had a big warehouse offshoot of Kmart, right? Was that called Supermart? Or I'm trying to remember. Right, yeah. Yeah, they're around here. They've got them in, the Walmart, in the Walmarts, the Subway, right off as you come in the entrance, usually like off to the left or the right. Yeah, that's where my wife comes home with Subway sandwiches from Walmart when she's doing shopping there in Walmart with my son. Isn't that what they were called, Chris? Supermart? That was the big, kind of like uh, the Costco's of the Kmarts. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was just Super Kmarts, or it's like I always. It seems like I'm remembering the sign out front. Maybe it was just a Super Kmart with the super in the diagonal or something with Kmart, or I don't know. I forget. You'd have to Google that for me if you want to. Right. Yeah. Remember Sears? We had a Sears here at the mall. Matter of fact, they closed. I think, no, I don't know if they're still open. They had the Sears Auto in the back. Good old Sears. Gosh, Sears has been around. That predates me. It's back in my mother. How long has Sears been around? Since the 1800s? Remember the Sears and Roebuck catalog? They've got some antiquated, really old Sears and Roebuck catalogs. Yeah, Sears was, or Radio Shack. Is Radio Shack still around? Gosh, I grew up with Radio Shack. That was like the coolest place to go and get Pioneer uh, uh, radios and speakers for your vehicles growing up in the 70s. Or for me, I ended up, well, yeah, I was in the 70s when I got licensed. Pioneer coaxials and triaxle, and what were the other? What was the more high end? At least then, what was the brand? The oh, Ken Ken Kenwood. Yeah, that's awesome. I love. We had a I don't know if it was a commemorative catalog or something, but it was one of the old um, Sears and Roebuck catalogs where all the photos were sketches. They were artists' sketches and renderings instead of photos. You know, those black and white pen sketches. Oh, I'll be dang. Look at that. That's awesome. Yep. Yeah, Comp USA. Wasn't that like the precursor to the um, to the uh, what is the shop down there at the mall or across the street from the mall? Gosh, isn't that funny how it's like being able to pull things off the tip of my tongue is getting harder, but yet I can picture it. But you know, where uh, the Geek Squad. Yeah, Best Buy. Thank you. Gosh, why is that so hard? I can remember Geek Squad. It's like Best Buy. Yeah, you don't see Comp USA anymore, and you don't see Radio Shack. Yep. We were talking earlier before you came in, Chris, about the just how much things have changed in the 3 weeks that Trump has been in office. It's just amazing. Well, you're not quite seeing the actual physical change yet, but what he is, you know, the amount of meetings, the amount of business that is coming, those that have come from foreign countries to come and meet with Trump, just amazing. It's like so easy for him to just do it. He just makes a phone call or they call him and say, "Hey, we've been waiting for you to get in office. Come on down." Oh my gosh. Well, like I said, we're actually yet to see the physical changes, but I told my wife 4 years ago. I said, I hope he gets back in office because he only just begun the 4 years, and it was the first time in my life that I actually, started actually following a president and paying attention. And it was so motivating to watch what he did the first 4 years. I was so excited actually to see, like, okay, now we're going to see it explode. And it didn't happen because he didn't get reelected. And so now what he's doing is he's just picking up where, the disaster left off and getting back on track where he, what he was trying to do the first time. And unfortunately, he only has 4 years, to implement, to re-implement. But it's so motivating to watch him. Just the news coverage. I can click to him speaking at will. I can just click on, I look at the date 2 days ago, 24 hours ago, 10 hours ago, and I can listen to him. And I could sit here all day and listen to him speak and watch his meetings together with people from all over the world and the United States, and just sit there and listen to him and listen to the other people and what they're going to do now that they've got the go ahead. I'm like, why is it so easy for him to do this? It's like it must be there. I was telling my wife, they're obviously, this is a spiritual battle, because it doesn't make sense for somebody to come in. Well, I guess it does. It makes sense that they don't see. They can't think like Trump thinks. And to be able to think that what they're doing is going to change the nation and the world by the methodology that they put in place. Because when you see what Trump's doing, and at least what he's implementing, it doesn't compare to the last 4 years. And my question is, why? And the only conclusion I can come up with is, it's a spiritual battle. It's like somebody that has an addiction and they don't see, they're not able to actually see, the big picture, the damage that they're doing. Or they know what they're doing, but their craving is so strong that they can't stop it. That's the only way I can compare it. It's got to be, there must be some other influence, blinding, somebody to think what they're doing is the best for us. Yeah, exactly. Because, there was no, there has been no mention of what we're hearing right now in 3 weeks. There's been no inkling, no thought process to this effect in the last 4 years. And yet Trump he's holding press conferences, and the media eyes on, where you can listen to him. Oops, I got to change the battery. You can listen to what he's doing, and he's as transparent. Don't know if you could hear me moments ago. Am I still there? Yeah, I'm still there. I'm just saying it's like he's so transparent about what he's doing, Trump, that is, and you can go to any channel and listen to him and watch him do and listen to what he's thinking without any, he's not there to hide anything. He wants everybody to know what he's doing. It's like, come one, come all, listen to what I'm doing and watch. And there's no problem. And he's so cordial and he's so open about it, and he explains it, or he gives the stage to the expert and they explain it. Here's what we're going to do now that President Trump is in office. And they are like, we can finally balance the how did that one guy put it? Not the balance sheet. Yeah, the balance sheet, for the United States, we can finally get it back on track. Where it's like, well, wait a minute, how come the prior president didn't see that? What's his vision? What was holding him back from being able to see that there's a problem, there's a corruption going on, at the government level, or a system that hasn't been purged or what's the word? Not purged, but uh, it God, I almost said it. Not edited. When your company is when they look at your the inner goings of your company, audit. Our government hasn't been audited. Probably, I don't even know. I've never heard of it before being done. And yet, all he did was took a brilliant businessman named Elon Musk and said, "Hey, I want you to go in and look at an audit, see what you can come up with." And look what he did. It's like nothing like that was mentioned in the last 4 years. Like, what mindset does somebody have, that the other person didn't have, to be able to just think of something like that? Oh, see, I didn't follow, so I didn't know that. Oh, I gotcha. See, had I been paying attention, I would have known that, but I wasn't. I'm embarrassed to say, but I didn't. I had no idea. I didn't follow it. It was until I joined the military, believe it or not, that's what opened my eyes to my own country that I should have known about, and I didn't. And then I started looking. I started, seeing things differently. And then that led to President Trump, his first 4 years. And it got me interested because something he said made sense. And I thought, whoa, wait a minute. I understand that. I'm going to follow what he's saying, who this guy is. I mean, I already knew who he was, but... And then the rest is history. I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Did you see the interview between Hannity and President Trump and Elon Musk? That was a good one. I'm really impressed with Musk. I mean, again, he may not be the best, fluent speaker like Trump is and others, but when he gets it out, when he spits it out, he's a brilliant man, obviously. Look who he is. Look what he's accomplished. That's like I said about Trump. If you're looking at somebody's resume and you're looking to fill a position in your company, and you come across somebody like Elon Musk, duh. Would you not elect him because he can't, speak as well as somebody else in front of a crowd? No, you don't. You look at his resume. Look what he's accomplished. And I loved it the way he said, the people have spoken. So Elon Musk said it the best. He said, we need to continue doing what the people want. So if it means auditing, the government officials, if that's what the people, if that's what it takes to accomplish what the people want, then he said that's democracy. He says when you don't do it, it becomes a what? A bureaucracy? Is that what the word is? Where the government becomes... And I was telling my wife, I said, that makes sense because when you don't have a checks and balances like an audit, in any company, then you tend to lose. The people that are in charge start doing it with their stinking thinking. I mean, even though they don't know it, they're now running it based on what they think is best, as opposed to what the owner is wanting. And unless you audit those managers that are in charge of your company, you're going to lose sight of your own company. And that's exactly what we're seeing with the United States. The United States is the company. We run it. And in order to keep what the people want, you have to audit those people that we elected, right? You got to keep them in check, or the system gets out of control. And you end up with one person in the Social Security that is 450 years old. Did you hear that? I was like, oh my gosh, he just kept going up. There's 8 people from 200 to 250 years old. He says, and Trump was saying, he's like, oh, and there's more. It gets better. He says, we got one person in the United States that's 450 years old. It's like, wait a minute, what? I know. Did you hear it? You have to rewind it and watch it. He went all the way up to 400 to 450 years old. We got one person in the United States that's 400 to 450 years old. Whether they're collecting money is not, is yet to be. But just the fact that it hasn't been audited. I know. And how many millions of dollars for condoms in where? Iran or Afghanistan, or what country was it? How many millions of dollars? 250 million or whatever it was, 50 million. Oh my gosh, the list was wild. Did you hear that? When Trump decided, when the media was interviewing him, or he's taking questions from the media, and he said, he was basically saying, I'm not going to go there yet because nobody's asked me. And I'm surprised nobody's asked me about it already. He says, but on that note, I'm going to go ahead and share it. And he goes off on a tangent and he starts talking about the amount of corruption that Elon Musk has uncovered throughout the world. And all the countries. He even had a country in where? Kathmandu, Nepal, that was collecting millions of dollars for, I forget what it was. It's like, wait, what? So, wow, what a, speaking of putting, Mozambique. That was Mozambique. That's right. Right. And they ended up making bombs with those condoms. Imagine that. Or cultural diversity, or management improvement, or whatever those. It was for Gaza. Yeah, so anyhow, I mean, speaking of, we can all feel it. And it was this way the first 4 years. And I get kind of upset when people say, oh my gosh, do you see what Trump's doing? And the changes he's making, on a positive note. And I'm looking at him going, so weren't you paying attention the first 4 years? This is what he did the first 4 years. If you think this is incredible, watch what he did the first 4 years. For 4 years, I was just sitting there at the internet, watching. I subscribed to his channel, and it was, to the media channel that follows him everywhere. And I just wanted to hear him speak. I wanted to hear it from his mouth. I didn't want, even though Fox is, supportive, I didn't want to hear it from Hannity. I wanted to hear it from Trump. I just wanted to hear him speak. And that's where I'm continuing off where I left off 8 years ago. And here he is again. Let's see how much of this will, actually be put into. But I mean, what we got a Japanese AI investor that came over saying, I want to invest $200 million. And Trump said, well, I'd like if you invested twice that. And the Japanese guy said, in so many words, well, I'll consider it, but I need your help, President Trump. And he, President Trump, big smile on his face. Well, guess what? That Japanese investor is investing $1 trillion now. It's like crazy. He went from 200 or 250. I think Trump said either 500. I want you to invest 500 million or 500 billion. Yeah, it was billion. Yeah, 250 billion. And then he said, well, I'd like it if you invested twice that. Well, I need your help, Mr. Trump. And now he's investing $1 trillion. I love it. And the ocean out there in the Gulf of America now has been retaken or put back on the map. Now, though, companies can do what they got to do out there, and so we'll see. We'll see the changes, hopefully. The biggest thing that I've noticed is the amount of change that is going on in the world, or how he uses the world to make changes. For the first time in my life, I'm learning about tariffs and understanding taxes. I got my 19-year-old. He's in bed, of course, but we're constantly picking my 19-year-old's brain. It's like, hey, Jordan, what are tariffs for? And he goes into detail with me, and he understands it already. Or he'll quickly do a Google to refresh what he already knows and explains. And so we, for the first time, or we actually get to, have something in common, and we're talking about, what's going on. Or I should say, we can continue as he gets older to have a dialogue on, the government and what Trump is doing. Yeah, you know what? I told my son, I said, unfortunately, when I was going through school, history was like boring to me, and I didn't pay attention, and I about failed that class, and I ended up having to cheat with the girl sitting next to me who helped me cheat so I could pass the class. And that girl sitting next to me turned out to be my brother's wife. That's a true story. Kim. And it was his first wife. And now his second wife is also named Kim. But I didn't know his second wife. I just knew his first wife. She sat right next to me in class. And I didn't know. She wasn't dating my brother then. She was, but she turned out to be my brother's wife. Yeah, see, your political philosophies are all rooted in history. Yep. It's true. I remember, I remember these subjects that I'm now finally understanding. I remember them being mentioned in history class and being tested on them and all that, but it was, um, I didn't, it was the subject, and I'm not going to blame it on the teacher, but I remember the teacher wasn't very interesting. It was a female lady. And I didn't really, it wasn't one of those teachers, that left an influence, on you, or an impression, I should say, where some teachers did. And I never forget him, like my math teacher, Mr. Comboy. And I remember him by name. And what he used to greet us, "Hey, big guy," as we were walking into the bungalow up the wood steps. He'd be sitting there out on the steps waiting for us as we're walking up the steps, and he'd say, "Good morning, big guy." I remember that to this day. Now that guy was a kick. He was the best. But this history teacher, no, I didn't like the history teacher. Yeah. And now, I don't know about yourself, but if you want, I'm finally learned about Hillsdale College. Are you familiar with Hillsdale College? I'm sure you are. Being a Christian and having some political, education, or at least paying attention to it, you've probably heard of Hillsdale College. And I finally got plugged into Hillsdale College, and I'm doing online courses with them. And I was like, my jaw drops. I was like, oh my gosh. I should have paid attention. Yep. And then come to find out, a lot of these newscasters, I forget which one in particular, he's like an honorary faculty of Hillsdale College. He gave a speech at one of their graduation ceremonies. It's like a popular reporter for Fox or somebody. I forget. Wow, that's like incredible. And they're nonprofit. I mean, they don't accept any funding from. I shouldn't say they're nonprofit, but they don't accept any governmental support. It's all private. You and I, contributing. Yeah, where's Hillsdale College? Isn't that up in your neck of the woods, or where are they located? Hillsdale College. I'm going to say they're like in the north, right? Where are they? Illinois, or where's Hillsdale College? Michigan. Yep. See? That's right. That's what I was thinking. I was picturing Wisconsin, Michigan, somewhere in there. That's right. That's right. That's right. 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 Why do I keep saying you're in Wisconsin? You keep telling me you're in Philly. My gosh. Wait, there are a few of the people in the room. Uh, Josh. Remember Josh, the Special Forces Army with the auto business? He pops in, gosh, so infrequently now, and I almost worry about him. It's like, oh man, I hope something didn't happen. But he pops in every once in a while and he says hello, and then he leaves one comment, and then he's gone. And I'm like, I don't know what happens to him. It's too bad, because he was like one of the original veterans that found my channel. And I was so comfortable with him. I was like, he was one of my first moderators that I made a moderator. Yeah, Josh. Yeah, another Chris from Wisconsin. I know Josh is in Wisconsin. Uh, yeah, anyways. What's his name from the UK? Jeff Sasso. He's been popping in lately. He's apparently still in Camp Pendleton, there in San Diego, waiting to be shipped wherever they're going to ship him next. But they came back from some deployment, and then they posted him in at Camp Pendleton. Yep. Yeah, I was surprised. I was like, wait a minute, you're at Camp Pendleton? You're from the UK and you're at Camp Pendleton. He goes, yep. He's been there for like over a month now. I don't know if he's on his way now, but it is pretty cool though. When I was early on in my military reserve career, I was drilling, I've mentioned before, there in Oxnard, California at Point Mugu Naval Air Station. And every now and then, or I should say, yeah, every now and then I would start seeing other uniforms from different branches, on the base. Army uniforms, Air Force. And I was like, wait a minute, this isn't an Army base. This isn't an Air Force base. And I remember hearing that integration was becoming more common within the military, that it was no longer, we always had that, or the military has always had that kind of rivalry, but in a playful way, Army against Navy, because of the football games and so on and so forth. And we always talked, or the military would talk, down about the other branches, but we didn't mean it. It was all in, like, that rivalry kind of going on. Well, they started breaking that, I guess you can call it breaking that barrier down, and making it more of a what did they call it? Like an interbranch. I forget what they refer to it, but I remember being at some of the meetings we would attend when the the high-ranking officer would come in and give the whole base a talk. I remember hearing that we would start seeing more of that, and sure enough, to this day, that's the norm now, is for other branches, to be operating, Army operating on a Navy base, vice versa. It's just all one military. And so that makes sense that, you got an Army, UK Army, mingling with on a Marine Corps base or Navy Marine Corps base in San Diego. It's a place to land and function or use, whatever it takes. Yeah, unfortunately, or I should say, yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't I wasn't full-time military. I was a reservist, and I got hired into the military as a reservist. So I wasn't doing it every day. That wasn't my job. My job was a paramedic in the civilian world. That was my full-time job. And I did the reserve duty 1 weekend per month, 2 days per month, Saturday, Sunday, every month. And so, it's like I would just start getting a taste of what life was like on base. And then the day would end and I'd go home, the weekend would end and I'd go home and I'd go back to the civilian world, and my uniform would be hung up for another month. So I didn't get it indoctrinated, into the military, at a full-time basis until I got deployed to Iraq. But that was another animal. I wasn't on a base, a U.S. base. I was out in the middle of the Al-Anbar province in Iraq. So I didn't get to, and I wasn't on a ship. So I never got to learn the going-ons of a ship, or living on a ship and all the, the rules and regs and etiquettes of being on a ship. It's a different animal on a ship as far as the, traditions that you go through and things, just the way you operate, the things you say, the words, the lingo on a ship, everything's different. It's not a handle, it's a hatch. It's not a, it's not a bathroom, it's a head. It's not a kitchen, it's a galley. All the terminology on a ship is nautical. So I learned that for testing, but as far as living it, never got an opportunity to do that in the Navy. And I was in the Navy and I never stepped aboard a ship. What's wrong with that picture? But it was a good experience. I got to learn, obviously, over time, the formalities, of being in the military. But it took a lot longer than is as if I would have been full-time, doing it every day, reporting to work, on a daily basis. But it was a good, yeah, hoorah. I mean, really, praise God for the military. That even learned that, about the military. how connected the military is with the Bible. It's like, come on. And yet a lot of people, well, I didn't know. I didn't see there was any correlation with the military and the Bible. Duh. It's like, you think everything might be associated with the Bible? You think? Even on that note, I've mentioned this before, but even the military takes biblical passages out of context. I don't know if I'm going to assume somebody understood the passage correctly and decided to, I'm referring to the passage, I'm going to paraphrase, where the military uses giving your life for a friend. I forget what verse that is. And yeah, the scripture is, if you don't read before it and or after it and understand the context of that verse, it's referring to Jesus Christ, what Christ did, or what he was going to do, because I believe it's Old Testament. And what Christ did, nobody can do. Matter of fact, that's what the verse says. It says, no man. And if you read it, it's like, it's very clear what it says. It says, no man is able to give his life for his friend. And I'm paraphrasing that verse. And that's exactly what it's saying. It's saying no man is able to do what is required. But they use that verse to represent a military, a soldier does for his fellow soldiers. It's like, well, you can jump on that grenade to save the life, of your friend, but unless you know Christ, you see, what is a man if he gains the whole world, i.e., he lays his life over a grenade, but loses his own soul after he does that. You see, no military man can do what Christ did. They can't compare to how Christ gave his life for those that believe. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Well, I wonder if that hoorah, that's cool. Thank you. That's the word I was the explanation I was looking for. Multilateral training. It's like multilateral um, bases or multi uh, branch bases. It's no longer only a Navy base. Come one, come all. Land your airplanes, whatever you need. If it works for you, for the other branches, come on in. If you need to house, your army, uh, your army, what do they call it in the army? Battalions, army, whatever. At Point Mugu Naval Air Station, as long as we got berthing for you, come on in. Hurry up and wait here at Point Mugu. Yeah, is it John 15? Can you copy and paste it? King James, bro. I always love to read what King James, or how King James puts it here. Oh, John 15 is the what is a man that he gains the whole world but loses his own soul, correct? But I'm thinking of the verse that refers to uh, the first. About no man is able to give his life for his friend. What is that? What verse is that, Chris? Oh, there it is. You're right. 15:13. Greater love hath no man than this. I thought it was Old Testament, that a man lay down his life for his friends. You hear that? Here's the way. Correct. Thank you. You just posted it, and I just found it as well. See, it doesn't say greater love has a man than this, or greater love. There is no greater love that a man lay down his life for his friends. You see, that's how the military interprets it. There is no greater love that a man lay down his life for his friends. It doesn't say that. It says, greater love hath how many men? No man, mankind. Nobody has greater love that a man lay down his life for his friends. And if you read that in context, it's Jesus Christ talking, isn't it? Yeah, if ye abide in me and my words abide in you, you shall ask what you will, and it shall be done unto you. Herein is my Father glorified, that you bear much fruit, so shall ye be my disciples. As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Continue ye in my love. If ye keep my commandments, you shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments, and abide in his love. These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. He's referring to himself. Ye are my friends, if ye do whatsoever I command you. Henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not. Here is explaining what friends means. I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth, but I call you friends. See there? They always say the Bible has its own dictionary in it. You either read before, therefore. What is therefore, therefore? You got to read before it, or read after it, and it will usually explain what the previous verse is referring to. And this is exactly, a perfect example of that. What friend is he talking about? Read further. It says henceforth, or because of that, or from now on, I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth, but I have called you friends. For all things that I have heard of my Father, I have made known unto you. It's talking about believers. It's so good. Man, it's so good. You see there? So the military even quotes, I've even heard officers addressing their troops before they go out into battle. Here, like over in Iraq, before they end up, going out on a mission, he'll quote that verse, but they'll read it as, greater love has no man, there's no greater love that a man lay down his life for his friends. See, that's not what it says. It says, greater love has no man than this. Then what? Read further. That a man lay down his life for his friends. What man is he talking about, and what friends? And if you read further, it's Christ calling people his friend now that they believe. Yeah, and that's something. That's like the cliche that's out in society where people say, oh, it's all good. It's all good. And it's like, where did that come from? Well, that came from all things work together for the good. But they forget the next part of that sentence. To them that love God, to those called according to his purpose. You see, it doesn't all work for the good. It's not all good if you don't believe. For what is a man if he gains the whole world but loses his own soul? There it is. gosh, it makes so much sense, man. When you finally understand it and it all fits together, it keeps repeating itself. The whole Bible is a love letter, pleading, begging people to believe before they take their last breath. It's like, gosh, what? Oh, I know. Yeah, yeah. It's feel good Christianity, right? Yep. Material worldview. Yeah. Well, the biggest thing about that, which you're right, but it's usually people that don't know. They don't understand. And so they do take, in order to try to understand what the Bible, is saying, they'll cherry pick, and they're not understanding it. They're just, like you said, they're justifying their own materialistic, evolutionary worldview. And it's much simpler than that, as we know. It's choose to believe first. Choose to believe it. Let somebody show you from the Bible how you can be 100% sure that if you took your last breath today, your name will be written in the book of life. And then, if you truly understand, then these verses will all of a sudden start popping off the page, or those verses that they once read that they took out of context will all of a sudden make sense. OMG, I didn't realize what I was reading. I truly didn't understand the Bible that I've read twice through. How many people have you heard? Oh, I've read the Bible cover to cover. And I bet they have. But as the Word of God says itself, they can't understand it. Why? Because they don't have Christ in them. It's so bizarre to think. It's like, wait a minute. You mean I can't understand what the Bible is saying? And I've got a PhD in literature? That's exactly what the Word of God says. You don't have the ability to understand it. And that's so offensive to people, that have formal education beyond, what society refers to as, being formally educated. Yeah, it's wild. And yet people like me, with not too much formal education, can understand. It's bizarre. Does that mean I'm more educated than somebody with a PhD? No. It just means that I understand the truth. And it all starts to make sense. Everything. You can see the link between, the New Testament and the Old Testament. And there's so much of it I don't understand, that I don't see the link between the two books, or the Old Testament and the New Testament. But the more time you spend in it, and the more time you invest in listening to other people that have been studying it a lot longer than you, and you start hearing how they understood or how they made that connection, and you're just like, oh my gosh, either it pops out in front of you or it doesn't. Sometimes you still don't get it. It's like, wait a minute, what are they saying? I don't see that connection. But then other times they'll preach about a verse that you know very well, or at least you think you do, and they're sharing something from a different angle, and you're just like, whoa, I see it now. I never saw that before. And they're like, you know, you get it? It's like, OMG. Crazy. How could any man, you know what I mean? It's like make that connection. If it was truly written by men only, with no divine inspiration, how could any man, it's like looking at DNA and RNA. How could anybody be able to take that information that is contained in DNA and RNA, and as the book I'm reaching for right now says so well, how can any man take, let's see if I can get to it as quick as I can here. I'm going to read what you posted here. This is Dr. Robert Carter, who put together the biblical, biology 101 that I got. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you overheard me talking. The first issue that I got, the pages started falling out. I mean, like the whole front of the book became unattached from the binding and they just fell out. And I thought, oh no, this is a brand new book. What's going on? So I wrote them, I left them an email, and within less than a day, I got a response saying, oh, so sorry about that. We'll send you another one. Is this your correct address still? I said, yes, it is. Oh, we'll send it out right now. And they sent me another one. I was like, cha-ching. So anyways, Dr. Carter says it. He summarizes in the very end of this chapter, this first few chapters that I'm reading. He says, he's talking about what God did. Let me first, God had to have a plan. He knew what he was doing after all. He had to choose an information storage system, DNA, code an instruction set into that system, the genome, and design multiple maintenance, repair, and duplication systems that are all coded into the genome. He had to plan out the energy, storage, generation, and utilization systems based on ATP, code those things into the genome, and stock the cell with enough energy that it would immediately begin working as soon as he let it go. And let me continue. It gets better. He had to design complex biochemical manufacturing and recycling processes. So on that note, that's what I was referring to, that particular paragraph, that after planning out and putting together all this instructions, it would immediately begin working as soon as he let it go. I was trying to connect that with the Bible. How could a man put together these words over a period of 4,000 years and have everything in this book work together and make sense as soon as it was finished? Everything. There's no mistake. There's no, as much as people want to say, oh, I found an inconsistency in the Bible. No, you didn't. It's amazing. So let me continue. He had to design complex biochemical manufacturing and recycling processes and code those into the genome as well. He designed large and complex proteins, polysaccharides, and nucleotides. He also designed multiple systems to chemically modify those long chain molecules. Some of these, like DNA, RNA, and protein modifications, are becoming well understood. Others, like the sugar code, are only now beginning to be studied. He programmed the cells to make exact copies of themselves in only a few minutes. He designed photosynthesis, an incredibly improbable series of chemical reactions. God, I'm having a hard time swallowing. That does the near impossible. He designed sexual reproduction, multicellular organisms, and the hormonal regulation of development in complex species. Finally, he designed life to withstand many insults and injuries, from handling chemicals that should be poisonous to dealing with the mutations that are constantly threatening to kill us. These systems had to be designed, assembled, integrated, and turned on simultaneously. It is like God performed the ultimate balancing act, holding all the parts of life together like a 3D puzzle. When he switched from creating work to sustaining work, the most improbable machine one could ever imagine was sitting there, worrying away and doing everything it was designed to do. In the end, the living world does nothing but bring glory to the Almighty Creator. This is the essence of Biblical Biology 101. That's the very first chapter of the book. First or second? Chapter 1. How did life begin? That's the very last paragraphs of chapter number 1. What is it? Apparently we say one of God's names when we breathe in and out. I don't get it. Is that inspiration? Is that what? Wait. God's names. You got me breathing in and out now. I'm trying to get that. Oh, by the way, I did subscribe to the Creation Journal, which is the technical journals, basically the articles that were written, the scientific articles that were written, and it's a much more difficult and complex read than this magazine that I subscribe to, which is the Creation magazine. But I decided to give it a shot for 1 year. Real cheap, relatively cheap price for 4 issues, one every 3 months, or is it one every 4 months? It's whatever that is called. So I get like 3, and it's all online. It's not available in print. And I'm noticing already. I actually foresaw this before I purchased it, but I decided to do it anyways. Is that my my focus is more visual on in front of me than it is. Um, oh, that was Daniel. See? Oh my gosh, Daniel. I'm so sorry. I was reading that as Chris because it's only been Chris in the house, and I thought it was just him and I. And all of a sudden, I read this one, and I thought it was Chris saying it. I was, you know what I was associating it with, Daniel? I was saying in my mind, I am, I am, I am. That's what I was saying in my mind. And then I read yours, Yahweh. Yeah. That's good. I like it. I got to go back to this John 15, Chris. I'm seeing it's like, you know, it it's almost sad that the military is using that verse. And like I said, it wouldn't surprise me that it was used, or I shouldn't say that. I'm assuming, and I shouldn't do that. But that the military is using it out of context, because if they only knew the correct context of that verse, it would change those military persons' lives. Because I even said, had I only known the truth before I got deployed to Iraq, and I could have clarified, for example, that verse for my Marines that I was with before they went out on a mission, it would change their life if they chose to believe. But it's like that is the most, I know, that's like, it's almost, it's as powerful as John 3:16. When you understand the Bible, the whole intent of the Bible, it'll change your life. And it's not as complicated as people think. It's just understanding why Christ was sent to the earth. And that verse alone, John 15, is pleading for people to understand what that means. Yeah. No, not at all. Correct. I understand what they, what they're, how they're using it in the context they're using it. But it's like, Satan did the same thing to Eve at the beginning. Didn't God say? Didn't God say? I could, it's almost like I could, if only I had an opportunity. For instance, when the Marines would come to the BAS when I was in Iraq, that's the battle aid station, the emergency room, the sick call. When they would come to us, and we tend to see them more often in the evening during dinner time or after dinner when we would have movie night. We called it movie night. If there was an opportunity where there were enough people, um, we weren't busy doing something, we would pop in a CD, or the Marines throughout the base, they all had their albums of CDs or DVDs, both, and they would literally you could go over to a Marine's bunk, to their room, and check out a DVD, and they would write it on a piece of paper, and you would return it, or you could swap if you had your own DVD set. I'll trade you this one for this one, and I'll watch that one tonight if and you would do that. And so we had a DVD player at the BAS, as well as sometimes food that wasn't circulated throughout the base. We would have, because we were friends with the cooks right next door. So they always hooked us up with some really cool, something that wasn't on the menu. And they would bring it in, and we would be macking out on something special while we're watching the movie. And the cooks were there with us. The Marines were with us. And the had I only had an opportunity, to like address everybody before they went out on patrol or before they went out on a mission, and explain to them, that laying your body on top of a grenade for your buddy, actually means something different than the way it was explained to you. You see, here's exactly, it's perfect, is you explain to them what that verse actually means, and once they accept Christ, went blank all of a sudden. The whole screen just went bloop and turned black. Do I still have audio? Yeah. Test, test, test. Let me see. Check, check. Yeah, I got audio. Okay. Let me turn the music down. It got kind of loud. So as I was saying, once I have if I could have, I would have done it this way. And that is, I could meet with the platoon, because I was a corpsman for the platoon, on a part-time basis when they would go out on patrol in the field. And I could have a little meeting, my own little meeting, where the 19 guys in the platoon thereabouts, and Doc, being in charge of caring for them, I could like have a meeting either the night before or maybe before we actually started walking, and share with them, give them an opportunity to accept Christ. And then explain to them, if you're ever put in a position, where you find yourself laying on or giving your life, physical life, up to protect those around you, then so be it. You're good to go. You're good to go now, and you're good to go after you take your last breath. Whereas before you accepted Christ, for what is a man if he gains the whole world? If he lays himself down on a grenade, but loses his own soul? See, that's the big difference between understanding a verse and just using it to motivate your troops. You know, awarded the Medal of Honor posthumously for laying his life for a friend, giving up his life for a friend. What good did that do? He not only lost his life now, but he lost his life forever. And the life that the life he saved by doing that, what good did he pass on to his fellow Marine? He doesn't know, possibly, the truth about that verse. And so it just perpetuates. See, that's society, media, you never hear this on the news, in a classroom, public classroom, that is. Isn't that something? Anyways, yeah. Profound. A profound difference. Yeah, I could have preached to the masses during that 7 months. Coulda, shoulda, woulda, but I didn't know. I didn't know. Well, you know what? I am going to try to get tired and head out like an infant and put this live stream to rest. Thank you, Daniel, bro, always for coming in and supporting the watch hours. Hey, speaking of, beautiful. I was going to say, speaking of, what was I going to say? I was saying, put this to rest. All of a sudden, I read your comment, and then my thought process went poof and disappeared. What was I going to say? Oh, I was talking about thanking you guys for coming in. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say for supporting my channel, and then I realized, oh yeah, my monetization. I'm like this close to being monetized. I'll get that super chat icon down in the chat box eventually. And that's when I reach 3,000 watch hours. There's two different levels of monetization, and it's when you reach 3,000 watch hours, and the next one is 4,000 watch hours. That's how many hours, my content has been being watched over a 365 day period. And I am at like 2,756. Well, according to my my, what do they call that? Statistics. That's not the word. I'm getting like 400 plus watch hours per month every 28 days. And so if that holds to next month, then I'm going to be monetized but probably by March. And so, yeah, I'm that close to being monetized, and I'm sure I'll announce it, and you'll be able to see the extra icons that pop up, down in the chat box and all that good stuff. So anyhow, yeah, just thought I was monetized once before, Chris. I had a channel before this, and it was mostly just my bass fishing and in my kayak. And the fishing market is like completely overwhelmed. Everybody's doing fishing content. E.g., wow, where'd you come from? Awesome. Filipina? E.g.? I'm going to say you are. All the time, right, E.g.? Oh, Alaskan. All the way from Alaska. Is this the first time that you are on the channel? I had somebody else, a few people actually from Alaska. Just like two users or channels that came. Is this your first time? I'm wondering. Oh, it is. Awesome. Well, thank you. You caught me just before I'm about to sign out. But if you didn't already know, you probably don't. I'm usually on Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 8 p.m. until midnight Eastern time. So whatever that equates to up there in Alaska, this Friday. Is that tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow. I'll be back on. Obviously, it's not midnight. It's 4:30 in the morning. And so this was an exception, but 8 p.m. until midnight, and whatever else however long I stay on after that. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. 12:37, right. Yeah, it's like 4 hours difference. It's 4:37 here. Yep. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, don't forget the thumbs up. All of the above helps put this channel out in front of people like yourself. And if you didn't already know, the Word of God, military, and emergency medicine is the topics that I usually talk about. So, and everything in between. But it always seems to, the topic always seems to go towards one of those three. And that's probably how it ended up in front of you, based on the content that you watch and so on and so forth. Word of God, military, and emergency medicine. So cool. Thank you. Enigmatic. Praise God for the military. You see, now you guys are coming in and I'm about to leave. It's like, wait. Oh, wait a minute. It's almost like I remember seeing, I don't recognize your name, Enigmatic, but your profile picture almost looks familiar. What are you on? Are you on like a quad? And what are those? Are those fish? What the heck are you holding in your hands? Oh no, that's a moose. You're holding his rack. Oh my gosh. I had to look at that 3 times. It's like, oh my gosh, that's a moose. Dude. I know, I just saw it. Oh, that's your hubby. Oh, hey, dang, both you guys. Beautiful. That's cool. Yeah, I'm like zooming in on. I'm using the Xbox to uh, browse and use and live stream. So I'm able to zoom in with the right trigger. My 60-inch TV gets giant, and I'm zooming in on your profile picture, going, "What in the world?" The YouTube symbol, the red with the white triangle, is kind of covering up part of the face of the moose, and I'm like, "What in the world am I looking at? What is he holding in his hands?" They're like reflecting white. I thought they were two big fish in your hands. Like, oh my gosh, that's a moose. Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. Beautiful. Well, like I said, I gotta rest up, and then the wife has a doctor's appointment later on this afternoon till 3 o'clock. So I got a chance to get some sleep. I tried earlier and it didn't work, so hence the reason why I came on live stream way late at like 1:30 in the morning. So yeah, again, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. So it'll be 4 p.m. your time until midnight or 8 o'clock your time. And then some if I stay over. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Hey, good night, as you were, as I always say. E.g., Enigmatic, Chris, and Daniel, and anybody else that's out there watching. Don't be afraid. I don't bite. And we'll talk more. Let's end this with a bang. Wait. Let's get rid of the comments there. We'll start the rock and roll, and we'll end this. How about that? Wait a minute. It's not loud enough. Got to get it louder. There we go. See you guys.